All right, this is raw, uncut footage. Just letting y'all know. But hi, if you're not familiar with me, which you're probably not, understandably so, I'm Hayden Cooper, right? Um, you know, I've always wanted to start a channel like this, and I've always wanted to, not bring awareness because people are aware, but my goal, my lifelong goal has been to help people. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not necessarily a hard thing to do. You just have to put your mind to it. Anyway, so I finally mustered up the courage after a terrible first semester at college to do what I'm passionate about, right? And so, the point of this video today, I guess, is to kind of explain, where I'm coming from with all this stuff. I'm recording in the study room, as you can tell. Roommates, great guys, love those guys. But this is kind of like my why, like my explanation, my reasoning behind, doing all of this. Not all of this, because I haven't done anything yet, but men's mental health in general. It's one of the most underlooked things, very important. And for years I've struggled with, the feeling of being alone with these types of things. And so, the opportunity to not only spread my wisdom. I don't have any wisdom. I'm 18 years old. I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now, but the opportunity to be able to share my experience and share my thoughts and feelings and, even just help one person watching this video, that's my goal. And so I guess my why, why I'm doing this, why I feel like I need to do this is just to, be there for somebody who's just like me. Maybe not just like me, but similar. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, it's been years. I've always struggled with mental health, anxiety, depression, all sorts of things like that. And that stuff is normal. Shouldn't be normal. It sucks that anybody has to feel that way. But unfortunately, those kind of things are normal. And for me, a big thing always was, it was kind of internalized, always looking back on myself, right? Thinking about what did I do to deserve all this? But, the more you think about it, the more it's kind of maybe it's not necessarily something wrong with you. Maybe it's other things. There could be a million other things. You don't know until you think about it. I'll spare you the details for my personal situation, but it's been like this since I was a kid. And so, growing up with that stuff is hard, and feeling alone is hard. And sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to, as hard as it is, reach out. And if you can't reach out, it's probably why you're here. Maybe you're not here. Maybe you got recommended this video by a dumbass friend of yours. I don't know. Excuse my language. But, ultimately, if you're watching this video, then that means that you yourself are just taking the first steps into sort of helping yourself. Not necessarily that you need help. I'm not saying that at all. But back to my why, the reason I'm starting this channel and the reason I'm doing this is for the love of the game. And for a long time I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I didn't know anything, and I still don't. I'm 18 years old and going to college. I don't know shit. But I just it's been a lifelong goal of mine to at least help one person that is similarly struggling with something like I've struggled with. And it takes a lot to get to the point where you feel like you're ready to accept the fact that, hey, maybe I do need to do something about this. And that's kind of what I want to touch on a little bit today is, Not saying you have to do anything differently, not saying you need to do anything at all. But if you are struggling and, you know, you sit there and let it happen, granted, feeling feelings is normal. You need to feel feelings. You need to let yourself go through things. But if it's continued struggling and, you know, you don't know what to do, then at that point it might be time to reevaluate and, you know, not necessarily do anything differently, but if that's what you need to do, then you do it. And that's hard. It's very hard. As a guy, that's hard. As a girl, that's hard. I don't know the girl perspective, but I know from a guy's perspective that, you know, seeking what you need can sometimes be very hard. And that sucks. It really does. And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you need to change about yourself. But if you're struggling, you know, don't sit there and let yourself struggle. You know, sometimes it might feel like that's the easiest thing to do, but nobody likes to be miserable. As much as, you know, laying in bed all day is great, don't get me wrong. But, you know, if you're gonna sit there and not want to get better, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there, you're feeling the way you felt, and you want to do something about it, that's when it's time to make a change. And that's hard. And I keep saying that, but that's hard. And so, you know, for me, recently, with college, other things, lots of things have happened. I'll spare you the details once again. But, you know, there's been a lot going on. And I went to therapy. I've taken medication for it, and it helps. It does. I'm not recommending that to anybody. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what you need. But, you know, sometimes all that you need is just somebody that gets it. And back to the why. Part of the reason that I want to do this, even if this doesn't blow up, gets 5 views. Maybe one of the people that's viewed this video needed what I needed to say. You know? And that's my goal. Because all that I could ever ask for was somebody to understand and not necessarily reach out and directly help me, but hearing it from another perspective oftentimes is very beneficial. And I sound like a genius, but I'm not. And so that's what I want to do. Even if you're watching this and this isn't what you need, that's okay. But, you know, let me put it this way. You know, growing up, you know, doing things in my life, you know, some people might say, oh, you never had any reason to feel that way. And that's fine. Spare you the details once again. But, you know, all that I ever wanted was somebody that understood. And people would say they did, and maybe not necessarily understand. Or they would understand, but, you know, if you understand it, it's like we're all drowning together. You can't save everybody, you know. And so, not that I'm trying to save anybody, but, you know, back to my point, sometimes all you need is somebody. And that's why I want to do this. You know, if nobody watches this, great. My friends watch this, great. If some random motherfucker across the planet watches this, that's great. But if I can at least be there and make as many videos over certain subjects, any subject that somebody needs to hear, then I'll do it. You know, it's like I said, my passion, even growing up, has just been to help people, and that's what keeps me going. And so, despite not necessarily always being able to help myself, you know, having that feeling of being able to do something for somebody else and be there for somebody else like I needed somebody is big. And so, maybe you don't watch this video. Maybe you did watch this video. Maybe you stayed till the end. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll never know. But just know that you're not alone. And sometimes all you need is somebody that gets it. And that's hard, but you're not alone. And regardless of who made you feel that way, what made you feel that way, you'll never be alone. There's always going to be somebody that gets it, even if you don't know that person, even if you haven't met that person. Someday, there will be somebody that understands. And that's what I want to be able to do for whoever watched this video, whoever needs this video. You know, it's just be there. Because sometimes all you need is somebody. And I keep saying that. But that's true. Not necessarily that I can reach through the screen and tell you what you need to hear, but, you know, something that's always helped me a little bit has been just listening. And maybe that's what you need. And granted, I don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers, but what I do know is that you're not alone. And I'll say that till the day I die. You're not alone. Never will be. Even if it's not you watching this video, watching me talk about random stuff, you're not alone. And not necessarily to say that anybody needs help. Not saying that you want help. Not saying that you need to do anything differently. Not saying anything like that. But some people need the help. Some people want the help. Some people need a YouTube video to watch to fall asleep. Some people need a YouTube video to watch to help them out. Some people need that. Some people need that. And so, you know, as hard as it is, struggling, feeling like you're drowning, feeling like you're alone, you're not alone. You're not drowning. You might be struggling, and that's okay, because a famous movie quoted this. I don't remember what it was, but, you know, when you hit rock bottom, the only way you can go is up. And so, yeah, that's all I got. But I'm going to make another video tomorrow. You guys will see it. Maybe you won't. That's okay. But one thing I just want you to know, if you're watching this till the end, is that you are not alone. And it's a beautiful thing. It's nice to know. It's nice to hear that, because for so long, you know, you can feel a certain way for so long, and eventually you get sick of it. And maybe being alone is your thing. Maybe that's what you like, and that's okay. But even if that is your thing, you are not alone. There's somebody out there that gets it. And that's hard, because a lot of people struggle with that. Reaching out is hard. But I'm gonna nail the head on the coffin. You're not alone. I'll see you tomorrow.